was a heavy, my heart was heavy. And through the night, I woke up to write down a vision I had. And it was different colors, numbers. And when I started writing this down, I found myself taking the pad with me to work. And throughout the day, I write different little notes down that I can remember from my dream or vision. And then I put it all together, and the Creator gave me Girl Talk, HIV/AIDS prevention. And from that point, I started with 2 young ladies, and I started with 2 young ladies in 2008, maybe around May of 2008. And they were cousins, so their friends, they told a friend, and this one told another friend, and the girls started coming every Tuesday. I taught them how to bake cookies, chocolate chips, that was their favorite. I taught them how to garden. We went to the Philadelphia Flower Show, one of the largest flower shows in the world. And my financing and backing came from friends, and I have a housekeeping service and some of my clients, because they were all pulled into this. And they were happy that things were working out so well. So May of the following year, 2009, I saw the young ladies standing on the corner dancing. I felt it was very inappropriate because they were in public, and I found another teaching tool. So when they came to Girl Talk that Tuesday evening, I informed them what they were doing. They were violating themselves. You were showing yourself off as if you were a product. I wouldn't look at you that way, but there's other people out here that do. And they looked at you as a piece of meat, and they're called pedophiles. What's a pedophile, Miss Gloria? I said, I'll tell you how to spell it, but you go look it up. And within 15 minutes after our meeting, one of the young ladies ran back to my house and knocked at the door. Miss Gloria, I know where the pedophiles are. They have 7 here in Morton, and there's like 17 in Springfield. And I asked her, I said, now do you understand what I was explaining to you about performing in the street? She said, yes, I do, and I won't be dancing in the street. Well, with the following month, I was targeted. I feel now that I have been studying and researching. I treaded on someone else's territory when I spoke about pedophilia, and when they were able to identify pedophilia, they were able to empower themselves by looking this information up, and that would help them not to fall in the traps that the pedophiles lay for them. And so I stepped on some toes, and as a way of paying me back or letting me know, you did the wrong thing, they started torturing me. My torture consisted of electronic harassment. I was hit about my head, all over my head, throughout the course of the day. At any time, at anything I was doing, it wasn't a set time, it wasn't a schedule, it would just happen. I could be holding someone's crystal because I have a housekeeping service. I'd be dusting off a piece of crystal, and an electric shock would come to my head. All right, I learned how to navigate through that, although I was miserable. I even thought one time, I called my daughter and said, maybe I shouldn't be here. This is so painful. And she snapped me out of it when she said, Mom, what are you talking about? If that's what you're talking about, then you tell your children, you tell your grandchildren that this is what I'm going to do. Call your son, tell him what you're going to do. After speaking to my daughter, she said, Mom, call your son, call your grandchildren, call your mother, and let them know what you're going to do. All right? And when she did that, it woke something up inside of me, and it made me realize that I'm still a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a daughter, I'm someone's sister, I'm someone's cousin, I'm someone's friend, and I can't give up that easily, although it was so torturous. But I had to pull myself up out of that and keep moving. All I kept telling myself is just keep moving. Every day I woke up, I would wonder, is this the day I'm going to die? Because of things that would happen to me at night. One night I was in bed about 3:30 in the morning. I was awakened by being choked. It felt like someone was choking me to death. And my reflex was to grab whoever hand was around my throat. But I couldn't move my arms. They were pinned to the bed. So I'm going to kick them. I'm going to knee them. I couldn't move my feet. My entire body was pinned to the bed. So then I started counting my blessings and asking the Creator to take care of my daughter, my grandchildren, my mother, and then it stopped. So I kept my eye on the door the whole time this was going on, because I'm going to see who's doing this. And I immediately jumped up. The door was still locked, so I looked under the bed. There was no one there. So I went to the bathroom, washed my face, and got back in bed. It's not something you call people up and say, guess what happened to me last night? So I had to stuff it, something else to stuff down. Another night I'm in bed, it felt like my feet were burning. So I started pulling the covers from the bottom, just kept pulling the covers until my feet were exposed. Well, it looked as if my toenails were on fire. I saw the flames. Once again, I got up, went to the bathroom, washed my feet, washed my face, and I went back to bed. Who do you tell this is what happened to me last night? A few days later, it was my fingernails that were on fire. I always sleep in a fetal position on my right side. But this night when I woke up, my hands were laying up on my chest and the flames were coming out of my fingernails. I got up, I washed my hands, washed my face, and got back in bed. I was resigned to, this is how I'm going to live the rest of my life. One day I'm coming home from work and I thought, oh, what just happened? Well, I then realized that I was being electronically raped. So there's nothing you can do to stop it. Once again, I came home, I took a shower, but you could feel the pain of it. The next time it happened, I was in bed and I felt something hit my leg. And I looked because I was reading a book. There was nothing in the bed. I didn't drop anything. So as I would continue to read, I felt as if someone was moving into my body. At that time, I was being anally raped. I passed out. I don't know how long I slept or how long I was out. But when I got up to go to the bathroom, it was evidence there that I had been raped. I never felt that I was being physically raped because I had a house guest that weekend. but all the signs were there. So once again, the technology.